I think it's good, and as long as it's not painful, it's good. It should just like go away in a couple of days.
I need to
Only thing is it's
refresh
super annoying.
where I have the stream running in the background because it doesn't look like we're live, but that happened yesterday where it didn't look like I was live until I...
live for me.
Okay, we are live. Yeah. It just...
We are live.
I just had to refresh for it to actually show as being live for whatever reason. Yeah. We are good to go. Okay. So I'm just going to move that aside. There we go. So, and we are going to get into the game. So, previously... Actually, what happened last week again? Oh, right, last week. Last week was, the mission, with the, tablet thing and all that.
That went really well.
Yeah.
Very. Nobody disappeared. Nobody important.
So, previously, after returning from their mission to Yavin 4, you know, our characters had a chance to just kind of relax for a little bit before Brendan and Jacen got sent on another mission. We're just going to jump ahead to them arriving on the planet... on the planet Trikelian, where they were going to meet up with Master Lucian. Lucian, what's his last name? Pretaria. Lucian Pretaria. To get an update on how the mission he was on, along with Mira and some other characters, was going. Yeah, so Jacen and Brendan were given a location of a bar that they were to meet him at, and we're going to start with the two of you arriving at that bar.
Slam the door open and walk in.
Do you actually slam the door open?
I mean, do they actually have doors?
Yes, there are doors in Star Wars.
I mean, it could be like a building, like, maybe like just that specific door's like, open thing. I don't know.
I'm just going to rejoin real quick. I got a funky audio thing happening. One sec.
Okay.
Okay, that's better.
I just walk in casually, I guess.
Okay.
Same.
Okay. No, I'm also just going to quickly post something in the chat just so I can know it's working. Okay, there we go. Normally we get like a host or something right at the beginning of streams, so then I'm like, okay, no chat's working. But there we go. But yeah. So you walk into the bar, you look around.
Do I see any Wookiees?
No, you actually don't see any Wookiees.
Okay, good. That relieves me.
You look around, you see a Gamorrean bartender. For anyone who doesn't know what a Gamorrean are, they're like the pig-like guards that Jabba the Hutt has in Episode 6. So yeah, you see a Gamorrean bartender.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you see like various patrons of various different species. Some humans, Bothans, Twi'leks, and various other species. In one of the back corners, you see a hooded individual. Who Jacen would probably assume is probably Master Lucian. Although his hood is pulled forward, so you can't actually see his face.
Do I see anything on him that like could give me an idea of that is Lucian or like?
Roll me a perception.
Maybe I should actually press launch game next time. I've been getting so good at it. Well, actually, woo.
7.
The rolls out of the way.
You're reasonably sure that this is a human male of about the right height and body size to be Master Lucian, but you can't see anything like anything specifically that identifies him specifically.
So Brandon, what do? Do we approach him?
I mean, you have a better idea of what this guy looks like than I do, so if you have a good feeling about it, let's do it.
Okay, we're doing it.
Okay, you go over to him, and as you do, he kind of leans back, just for a second, so you do see his face, and yes, it is Master Lucian, and tells you, "Oh, please sit down."
Okay, I sit down.
How are you doing,
Let the wolf lean
Jacen?
again.
How are you doing, Jacen? It's been a little while.
Has been a little while. I'm doing good.
And your friend?
He's new. I'm sure he can introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Brendan.
Good to meet you, Brendan. I assume you already know my name. I'd rather not say it too loudly. Never know who's listening.
I've heard a little bit about you. Yes, I know who you are.
Yeah. We should probably... He started talking, then all of a sudden he goes silent. Were you followed?
Not that I'm aware of.
I mean, can I say at this point, or can I like roll for like, or I've noticed anything?
You can, yeah. In this case, you can retroactively roll for perception since we just started with you already being here.
Let me see.
So wait, I roll now then.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I'll roll 2.
An
Woo.
8. Yeah, you didn't notice anyone following you.
Ooh.
16.
If anyone did, I'm sure you'll notice it.
1 second.
Although I like how already it's like, no, I didn't notice anything. On second thought.
You noticed an entire Star Destroyer following us.
Yeah. I noticed a group of Wookiees following us.
That will be something.
No, neither of you noticed anyone following.
Alright.
Yeah, Master Lucian's like, we might need to make a, no. He again pauses. No, they have the back. They have somebody out by the back as well.
Alright.
Just act normal, and hopefully they won't recognize us. And then, right as he says that, the front door swings open as some stormtroopers start coming in.
I'm sure it's fine.
And stormtroopers, there's 12 of them. They're kind of start filing in, and they're kind of looking around at the different patrons. 2 of them stay by the door, whereas the others are kind of like walking around, looking at patrons. Some of them are asking some questions or whatever. You're still in the back, so none have gotten to you yet. And then, second. Yeah. So Master Lucian whispers to you. I'm using the Force to disguise our faces, but so hopefully that will be effective. So 2 of the stormtroopers come up to the table, and they're like, so 3 of you locals are in town on travel or on planet traveling. Master Lucian's like, oh, yeah, we're just passing through. We're I'm captain of a small freighter. These are 2 of the members of my crew. Mm-hmm. You got some ID? Master Lucian takes an ID card out of his pocket and hands it to the stormtrooper, who plugs it into his computer and like is looking it over. And kind of cargo are you transporting? We actually just dropped off some bantha fur, and yeah, we're actually looking for a new job right now. I don't suppose the Empire has anything they need delivered. Stormtrooper, talks with one another. Storage seems to check out. They walk past, keep asking around the bar. And then after a bit, they leave. Okay. At which point Lucian is like, so this is a bit of a pickle we're in. They're still outside. They're watching the building.
So how should we get out of here?
Brendan, are you new to the organization we are all a part of?
Yeah, I'm pretty new.
Do they have a record of you on file?
I have no idea, honestly.
Okay, let's see here. What are all the missions you've been on? Because how many sessions have you been in so far?
4 or 5.
Yeah, because the last one didn't involve. The last 2 didn't involve Imperials. The only one that involved Imperials was the base you blew up.
Liberated.
Well, you didn't blow up the base. You just blew up the stormtroopers outside of it.
We left no witnesses.
That was the only one I think where you had like any direct contact with the Imperials.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you maybe mention that or whatever, and Master Lucian thinks it's possible they might not have a record of you. They certainly have records of myself and Jacen. He takes something out of his pocket. It's a small data disk. This is the information that needs to get back to the rebellion. This is the information that needs to get back to our organization, he says. We were actually going to be talking about Jacen possibly joining myself and the others on the mission for the next part of it. Do you think you can get this information back to our organization on your own?
Sure. I say very confidently. Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
low confidence.
Okay, in that case, you do that. Jacen, you and I are going to be getting out of here potentially the difficult way, if you know what I mean.
Let me just shovel my lightsaber.
Well, don't activate it yet. So, Jacen gets up, and Jacen and Master Lucian get up, and they leave the bar. And this is actually where we're going to be leaving Jacen off for a bit, and switching over to a new character. Let me just, there we go. Switching over. There we go. And we're going over to another part of the same bar where certain character was, where a certain Joey Brinaby was talking to somebody he was trying to hire, somebody's in the process of hiring, Ezekiel Corona, to help him locate his sister. Because some time ago, Joey's sister Zoe, who viewers may recognize as Kilo's character, was abducted from their planet, and Joey went out looking for her, managed to track down the people who abducted her, found out that they left her behind on this planet. And so he came here, and then trying to find out what happened next, he started looking for anyone that could help him, and was pointed in the direction of Ezekiel Corona. Who's
How long ago did Zoe disappear?
How long ago was she abducted? Some months ago.
Okay.
I don't know how many months ago off the top of my head, but
Okay.
yeah.
Just like so I have a general idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, yeah. And because Joey figured, a hacker would be a good person to find out, like, what happened, look into, like, things like, even just things like traffic cams, just hack into systems, find out if he could, like, figure out, what happened next after she was abandoned here. So
it was this planet that she was that she went missing on, right?
No. She was abducted from their home planet, which...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, she was abducted from their home planet. She was dropped off here after they found her too annoying.
Okay.
And then, that's as far as Joey knows. As has been established what had happened to her afterwards, but your characters don't know that. Brendan might. I don't know if he's heard the story or not. But what happened next was that there was actually a fight between rebels and Imperials somewhere on the planet, in the city. Actually, I will say that. And then she ended up accidentally helping out the rebels and ended up going and joining them. But yeah. So we're over on another part of the bar where your two characters were meeting. Talk about the next step in locating her. When the stormtroopers came in, you two both just kind of kept a low profile. When the stormtroopers came around asking questions, Ezekiel he knows how to answer questions in a way that'll he knows how to keep a low profile and such. So he kind of is like, okay, we're just here talking, just drinking, all that stuff.
Do a shot with us.
Yeah. So after the stormtroopers leave, you go back to your conversation.
So, like I was saying before, we tracked her here, but I'm not sure where if she's still on the planet or where she could have gone from here. That's something that we'll have to figure out.
Sounds good. I'm sure there's someone who we could ask. Maybe they've seen her or something.
I mean, what kind of places do you think she would have been likely to hang out in?
I should ask her for more background story, by the way. But I mean, back where we used to live, we used to climb in trees and everything. So,
Okay. So
and we worked as a mechanic, so maybe that's a start.
Okay, so we can check out some shops and stuff like that, and maybe even just around some parks or conservation areas, and see if anyone has seen her.
Yeah, it seems that does sound like a plan.
Around this time, outside there's the sound of blaster bolts and lightsabers and such for a few minutes, and then sounds start dying down as whoever's having this fight is getting further and further from the bar.
We go check outside. We see me being dragged to a back to tank.
Yeah. So what is Brendan going to be doing now?
Brendan's going to be probably casually just trying to leave.
Okay. Are you trying to just... So you're trying to just act like... Are you trying to be sneaky or just just...
Nonchalant. Just,
nonchalant.
Very
okay.
sneaky, sir.
Just try to be nonchalant. Make me a nonchalant roll. No. So yeah, you kind of, and Brendan, as he's walking, he's actually, he's actually the first person to get up and leave since, Jacen and Lucian. Everyone else is still staying inside because they just heard blaster bolts and lightsabers outside.
the diplomat wants to leave though.
So Joey and Ezekiel might notice that somebody's already leaving right after the combat, and also, actually, both of you roll me a perception.
Oof.
11.
Oh, yeah.
Not bad. And 7. Okay. What Ezekiel realizes is this is the guy that was sitting with the 2 guys that left before before the combat started outside.
So I look over at Joey. I think the fighting outside might have been that guy's friends.
I mean, does he look like he knows anything, maybe?
Nah.
He doesn't look like the kind of person who wouldn't know anything.
Well, seems worth a shot.
He doesn't look... Wait, say that again.
He doesn't look like the type of person who wouldn't know anything.
Okay.
Did I get the right amount of negatives?
I think so.
I wanted to see how tongue-tied I could make that.
Oh, that's great.
Should we go talk to him then?
All right. Let's do it.
Okay. So...
I have my R2 unit with me, right?
yeah.
Okay.
I would assume so.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So we'll follow Brendan out of the bar.
You follow him out of the bar, and yeah, he's just left the bar or whatever, and is like kind of looking in the direction that in the distance you can still hear like blaster fire and such. He's kind of looking in that direction a bit and probably trying to figure out his next move.
We'll
You just hear, you hear quiet whispering, I got this. I got
Cause-
this. I got this. I do this.
Him and Jacen had come to this planet. They had come through a just commercial space flight or whatever, and then.
So Brendan doesn't have a way off of the planet then.
Well, yeah, because they did actually have tickets for a return flight, not a return flight to the Jedi or to the Rebel base, because that's on a planet that is only Rebel, so obviously commercial flights aren't going to go there, but just like
Right.
to a nearby planet from where they would be picked up. The problem is that Jacen was the one with the tickets.
Bastard didn't give me my ticket.
So as he's standing there, Joey and I kind of like walk up. So like he's here, we just kind of walk up on either side of him, and I just kind of like I'm just staring off in the direction that he's staring. I just go, "Wow, crazy fight, huh?"
I sort of jumped, just like I'm waking up from being lost in thought. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not used to that. Sorry.
You're not used to sitting with people in a bar and then having them go fight stormtroopers.
Oh what? Oh yeah. I picked a bad table to sit on.
Indeed. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but we're looking for somebody, and we were wondering if you might have seen her. So I kind of pull out my pocket computer with a picture of Zoe on it and show it to him. Have you seen this person at all?
So I imagine you see like maybe a quick flash of sort of just surprise, but then I'm just like, no. Why are you asking?
I want you to roll me a con, and for Ezekiel and Joey to both roll me a perception.
Why perception?
What?
Ooh.
Ugh.
Okay.
Perception is so bad. Hey, didn't you say something about maybe allowing us one day to upgrade those?
Maybe one day. If I need to figure out like what book that's in, and because I just saw that online somewhere. I need to figure out like which book that's in and get a hold of that book and such. because I'm assuming that also probably has other rule changes as well. So, but, yeah. But so yeah, so you do believe that he doesn't recognize her.
So I kind of look over at Joey. Like, can you believe this guy?
What do I think? Because considering it's really close.
Like you also, yeah, you do believe that he doesn't recognize her. Although you do suspect, like, he does know something. You're not quite sure what, but like, there's definitely something he's at least hiding.
Are you really sure you have not seen anyone who looks like this?
She's been missing for quite some time, and we're really eager to get her back and reunite her with her family.
Who are y'all?
I'm Ezekiel Corona.
And my name is Joey Brunaby.
And you do, of course, instantly recognize the last name.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'd mostly be like, that name is familiar. Have I heard that somewhere?
And then R2 kind of comes out from behind me along the side, and he just like kind of beeps. I'm like, oh, and this is R2A1.
Oh, hi.
Yeah. Do you have any kind of preference for what kind of personality you want R2 to have? Because like he's an NPC, so it would still be somebody that like I'm playing, but
right, of course.
Please be sassy.
I mean, is there any other R2 unit than sassy?
Yeah, like kind of sassy, but not with the same deep-seated hatred that R2E2 seems to have for Kaljove.
Okay.
So like a little bit more on the milder side, but
okay.
Yeah, still kind of sassy.
Okay.
So I look over at Joey, and I just say relations.
She's my sister.
I play with my beard a little bit, just thinking about, just trying to process things. And I say, sorry if I seem a little hesitant. I just am very weary of people that I don't know.
I mean, understandable. Me, you
I
don't know us.
I should say, take a walk with me, but let's try and be discreet. And so, I open up a little bit. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Sort of like, okay, yeah, I know your sister. And I know where you could probably see her.
That's amazing.
That'd be great.
Are you willing to share this information?
On one condition. I'm sort of stuck on this planet and I need to get out. Need to know basis.
Yeah, my travel companion dumped me and took the tickets with him.
Where do you have to go?
I tell him the planet. Actually, I just tell him the planet that we would have gone on the commercial flight.
Yeah.
I'm not
probably
you don't actually mention Yavin 4.
Yeah, I just want to make sure.
The brand new Rebel base.
Yeah, we're going. I need to go to Rebel base, guys.
Well, not brand new, but
No.
Yeah. new to us. Do we have transport already lined up? I don't think we covered that.
Like, I don't know. Do we have like our own ship or anything?
No, you don't have your own ship. Only the smuggler starts out with their own ship. unless you're recon and lose it in your very first session. Which,
so would we have tickets or?
Ezekiel,
I mean,
Ezekiel, I imagine has already been on this planet has been just staying on this planet for a while. Because like Joey came to this planet because he figured that this planet out on his own. Came here. This is where he met up with Ezekiel. So Joey probably also took a commercial flight.
It's possible that Ezekiel could hack into the transport system and book seats.
It's definitely possible.
Okay.
Can you book first class seats? Because
I mean, how much is first class?
All right. Well, I tell you what. We'll try and arrange some transportation off world. But we're gonna need to know a little bit more information. Like, how do you know Zoe?
we're co-workers.
So she's not a prisoner.
Oh no, she's not.
Well, that's great to hear. Hopefully she's doing well.
I think back on just the few missions that I've been. It was like, oh yeah, she's doing great. Yeah.
Roll for con. All right. So if we get you off world, can you take us to her then?
Possibly. I'd have to talk to some people, but possibly.
I look over at Joey. I mean, it's as good a lead as we're ever gonna get.
It is. If he potentially knows where we can find her, then.
All right. You've already got your ticket, right? I assume they can be
Yeah, I'll just be like,
exchanged for a different destination.
maybe.
Maybe. We'll find out.
Who already has their ticket?
Joey.
I mean, unless
not really.
Just to come there.
Oh no. Okay.
He's probably just been because he didn't know where he needed to go next after this planet, so he got a ticket to come here. Then he just needs buying a ticket to go to the next place after he gets the next lead.
All right.
Actually, I'm a ticket forfeiter.
Perfect. 3 of them then, please. This is gonna be way easier for me then.
Is that something you could potentially do? Because I have no idea where that would fall under.
I mean, the tickets would essentially be digitally. It's just just that Jacen was the one that knew the code for it or whatever. So pretty much you could hack in and
basically what I'm about to try to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can also buy them, but of course then you need to be using or at least Brendan would possibly be using a fake ID for that and such, if just buying them and such. And
okay, so that's kind of important because Ezekiel doesn't know that he'll need a fake ID to travel.
Well, he also doesn't know Brendan's actual name at this point.
No, I know. just kind of putting that out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ezekiel says, "All right, well, let me see if I can scrounge us up some tickets." I assume my pocket computer can connect. I assume there's a network that I can connect to.
Yeah.
To do something like that. Okay, so I pull up my pocket computer. I'm gonna try to hack into the one of the transportation company's servers and try to get us some seats.
Okay. Make me a computer program repair.
All right.
Nice.
21.
Not bad.
Oh, sorry, that's 20. I forgot to take the one away.
Oh, 20. Oh, well, in that case,
bad.
you failed.
just imagine it would actually be just because of that.
No, 20. Yeah, you managed to get in, and you get 3 tickets, plus including that you're bringing in a droid with you, an R2 unit and such.
Okay.
Because that is kind of like, droids are kind of somewhere in between like luggage and needing a ticket for them, so it's you don't
Like
need
dogs.
what?
Like dogs.
Kind of, because with droids you can still have them with you, like because animals are like in a like on airplanes are, and they're still in the luggage area, right?
Yeah.
I don't actually fly or have pets, so but I was pretty sure. But like droids you can still keep with you or whatever and such. But depending on the type of droid, anything modified for combat you can't have with you. Or I should say modified for combat or made for combat, because some droids, like battle droids, aren't modified; they just are for combat. But yeah.
Okay, so I turn to the other two and I say, "All right, I'm in."
Okay. Yeah.
And I start inputting names. I turn to Brendan. I go, "All right, friend, what's your name? I need to know who to put on here, or they won't let us fly."
Well, I don't have any fake ID, so I guess I have to use my real name.
Why would you need to use a fake ID?
Oh no, I'm talking to myself.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were speaking out loud.
That'd be a really stupid thing to say out loud. Well, I can't fake my name, so.
I mean, if anyone gets fake in your name, it's Ezekiel, but still, he'd be curious.
but yeah, I say, okay, yeah, my name's Brendan Tarris.
All right, so I punch that in. Finish everything up. All right, we got 3 tickets. We're good to go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then I sort of said to Joey a little bit. I was like, okay, I'll tell you more, but just don't bring up your sister too much right now, just to be safe. I'll explain later.
All right.
No, don't want the. I'm out of character. Don't want the Empire to hear about her name.
Yeah. Okay. So flight you booked is you got on it's for just like a few hours from now, so like enough time for you to just like make your way to the spaceport and such. Pick up any, I guess, for you two having already been on the planet. I mean, Ezekiel, I guess, living on the planet for the recently. Joey, like, I don't know, had like probably like a hotel room or something, so you can like pick up whatever stuff you need and such, and then go to the spaceport. I don't know that either of you have all that much to bring with you.
No, Ezekiel doesn't carry weapons unless absolutely necessary.
Oh yes,
much of anything.
No, I mean, my standard comes with a blaster, so.
Mm-hmm. And you, of course, like, when you came to the planet, you, like, registered that you had a blaster with you and such. Brendan, what weapons do you have on you?
I mean, the standard that gives me is just 1, but not sure I could still, like, just 2, just in case, like a backup.
No, you just have, unless you want to go, like, buy another one, you just have the one. And what does Brendan have, weapons-wise?
Just a blaster.
Rifle?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you would also have registered that, like, when you came to the planet and such, just so it's like, okay, I have this with me. Of course, when you're on, like, the space flight, like, that, weapons have to be, what's the word? Like, you don't have to keep it with you on the flight or whatever, just in your luggage and such.
They have to be checked in.
Checked in, that's, yeah. So, yep. So you go to the spaceport, checking your weapons and like your other luggage and such. No issues with that and such. And then you go through through security and such. They ask you like, the standard questions, like, ask you like where you're going, like reason for the trip, blah blah blah, all that stuff. And I want each of you. Yeah. You all get through without much trouble or whatever. You just traveling around, give like the standard like answers and such. And you get aboard the ship, and it takes off after all the passengers are aboard and everything. It's a fairly large transport, so like there's a lot of passengers aboard. Probably like several hundred, like I'd say like 700-800 passengers aboard. And there's like it's going to be like a 5-day journey. So like you each have your own room and such. So I guess it's probably like best to think of it almost more like a cruise ship than like an airplane, I guess would be a good way of thinking of it. So there's like it's not like an actual like cruise, because obviously that would be like, but just like as far as like it has like individual rooms for sleeping in and such. It does have like some activities aboard, like has like pool, the Star Wars equivalent of bowling.
Space bowling.
We're dropping some frames. Okay, let's level out though. Okay, just drop the few frames. Oh well, it's not leveling out. We're dropping some more. Now is it good? I think it's good. So yeah. So there's like a bar and a restaurant aboard. There is also like kind of like a. Actually, no, I'm not going to even say there's a restaurant. There's just like there's free like buffet that's just included with the tickets. The bar costs actual money, but the food is free.
What kind of buffet?
Just like it's nothing like fancy or anything, but like various dishes and such from various planets.
Okay.
Well, indeed.
Yeah.
Ezekiel just goes to the bar.
Ezekiel goes to the bar. Okay. What are Brendan and Joey doing?
I'll go to the buffet.
Go to the buffet, just load up on food. And Brendan?
Right now I'm just currently in my room, just sort of trying to plan things out in my head.
Okay.
On what's going to happen next.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, you're going about doing stuff or whatever. And like the first day is fairly uneventful or whatever, But come the second day, I'd say second day, kind of mid-afternoon, what are each of you doing?
Does the pool have a swim-up bar?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go for a swim anyway.
Okay. So Ezekiel's going for a swim. Is Brandon still in his room, planning things out?
Yeah, I'm being a little private.
Okay. And what's Joey doing?
I mean, is there anything that's to do on the ship itself?
Like what? What
Swim.
swimming?
You mean, like aside from leisure activities and stuff?
Yeah.
Like what do you mean?
Good question, actually. I'm just staying in my room, I guess.
Staying in your room. Okay. Do anything in your room? This is Joey, not Jason, so he's not looking up Wookiee porn.
It's a bit of a private question.
Well, that's exactly what they have in common.
Okay.
Is there anything I could do even? Like, I don't know. Could I like look up info on the planet we're going to or something?
Sure, yeah, you look up information on it. It is the planet,
Wasn't something 5?
something 5, I never...
Yavin 5 or...
No,
I think.
Yavin 4 is where Brendan's going
4.
eventually, but it's not where you're going right now.
Yeah, where are we going?
From Yavin 4, Brendan was going to be getting picked up by the rebels to go to Yavin 4. The planet you're going to now is we are going to call it
Egu 3.
what?
I don't know. I said Egu 3.
Sure, Egu 3. I'm good with that.
Spell E-H?
E-H-G...
A-Gu 3? A?
E-H-G-U 3. Yeah. So Joey and Brennan are each in their rooms. While Ezekiel's swimming. When Ezekiel all of a sudden hears a scream from coming from like the corridor just outside the pool.
He turns around to see if he can see what the noise was.
Well, it's like there's like a he looks or whatever, and he sees like the door out into the corridor, because like the door to the pool is just a doorway. It doesn't actually like that isn't actually a closed door, so anybody can just like kind of go from the pool. But he can't actually see anything because like it was coming from the corridor, but like you don't see anything just through the doorway.
Okay. Like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
Is there anyone else in the pool area? Or
there's like a few other people. Yeah, they're kind of like looking at each other, like kind of like what was that or whatever. And somebody like closer to the door kind of goes and peeks their head out and is like, "There's a dead body out here," and
what? I'm gonna get out of the pool and grab a towel and dry off as I kind of walk over. Like, what do you mean there's a dead body over here?
You look out in the corridor and there's
a A dead body.
Yeah, dead body. It's human male on the ground, blood coming from like a chest wound or whatever, and then there's like another person who's presumably the one who screamed or whatever that like who had screamed or whatever that just sees that is like on one of like there's wall comm units or whatever, and it's just like they're tapping on it and being like trying to alert the ship crew or whatever that there's a dead body down here.
So as I kind of walk over towards there and I start getting closer, I can actually see what's there. I go, oh, yeah, there's a dead body over here.
Yep, that's that person.
Wow, is R2 with me?
Do you have R2 with you in the pool by the pool?
In the pool area.
In the pool area? You do have R2 with you in the pool area? Okay. Because I'm like, I wasn't sure if you would have left him back in your room when you're going to the pool.
I feel like he's like my buddy. We just kind of like wander around together most of the time, right?
Then you have R2 with you.
So I turn to R2. I go, can you detect if there's any like signs of life on him?
Beep boop bop. Which, since he's your R2 unit, I'm just going to say you understand him.
I have 5D in languages as well.
Okay, also roll me a languages.
Okay.
Um, 16.
Hi, Dan.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say, like, moving forward, you understand.
Okay.
Your R2 unit. You don't necessarily understand all R2 units because it's kind of like, even though they all kind of technically speak the same language, part of it is just like you understand him because you're always talking with him or whatever kind of thing.
Okay.
But so yeah, R2 is basically saying, I can't detect life signs.
Well, I never mind.
Time to upgrade him with some life sign detector thing.
So I'm gonna kind of like look at the lady who I assume screamed. I assume it was a lady.
No, it's a man.
Oh, it's a man. Okay.
This isn't an old horror movie or an episode of Supernatural.
Well, I don't know. I didn't know the kind of vibe you were going for this episode. Okay, so I turn to the guy and I go, "What happened?"
I don't know. I just coming down around the corner and I saw him lying here.
Did you check him? Are we sure he's dead?
I checked like for vitals. I didn't like check, or I checked like, for pulse. I didn't feel any pulse.
Shit.
I just talked to the captain. There's sending some people down here. Gonna figure out what happened. I guess.
Wow. Does anyone know who he is?
I don't know. You don't recognize him either.
No.
Other people like milling around or like. I don't know him. No. But I mean, like it's there's a lot of passengers.
Yeah, I hear there's 700 people on this trip.
Yeah. So.
Well, 699.
So yeah. So after a bit, like medic and some security come in or whatever, and the medic, checks him. He's like, "Yep, he's dead." Security are like, "Okay, the one security goes over to the guy who found him and such, whatever," and then some of the other like are going around asking you. One goes up to Ezekiel. Name?
Ezekiel Corona?
Yeah. Did you see anything or
I was in the pool. I
Really?
heard a scream, and I came over, and there was just a dead guy in the hallway here.
Okay. Okay. Do you know him?
No, I'd never seen this guy before in my life.
Okay. You can go about your day if we have any follow-up questions. We know where to find you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy to help, but I don't know how much help I can be to you.
Okay. So yeah, they look over. They question everyone or whatever. Are you just sticking around and watching, or after you got questioned, do you?
I mean, after I feel like Ezekiel would want to hang around if there's too much security around, especially since he hacked his way onto the thing. So, just to be safe, he's gonna kind of meander off.
Okay. Okay. Back to his room, or
yeah, I think back to his room.
Okay. So yeah, so you do that, and then it's a couple hours that pass by uneventfully, and then after a bit, Brendan, there is I assume you're still just staying in your room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, your door chime rings.
Bing bong.
I guess I go over and can I actually see who's at the door before I open it, or I just?
Yeah. There's like a eye hole, or actually not even an eye hole. There's a screen that shows you who's outside.
So who's outside?
It's a woman in a security uniform.
Oh, okay. I opened the door.
Question: Did Ezekiel let Joey or Brendan know what happened?
No.
Okay.
He just went back to his room.
Okay. Okay. So the woman looks at you as you open the door, and she's like, "Brendan Tarris."
Yes. What is
I'm not sure if you've heard anything about what happened, but a passenger has been killed.
Oh wow, no! I've been in my room most of the time.
So you were in your room at between I'm just gonna use real times for this for simplicity's sake, but between 1 and 3 p.m.
Oh yes, definitely yes.
Okay. Are you familiar with this person? And she shows you a picture, and it also has like the name, which is Charles. Charles Thetson. And you don't recognize him or his name.
No, I've never seen that person in my life.
Okay. What is what is your reason for traveling to Egu 3?
Heard good things about the eggs there. You know, it sounds like a nice place. I'm a food connoisseur.
Roll for con.
Also, for clarification, as for Egu, where we're laughing about it, in Smash they named Yoshi Egu. They have a whole list of all the characters they use for like a randomizer. Like, since like for online modes you don't have smash down, like if two people use 2 characters each, but you can only use 1 character each time. So like once it gets used, you can't use it again.
Okay.
But in online you don't have that, and apparently they eventually made a list of all the characters instead of the character names. They gave each character some sort of a different name or like a meme or joke name or whatever you want to call it. And so Yoshi became Agu.
Okay. Okay, so you got a 14.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. First dice.
If it's bad, it stays.
6 reroll.
Okay. If we have any further questions, we'll come back. But everything seems to be fine as far as you're concerned. Let us know. Let us know if you see or hear anything. Yeah. So then she leaves. Now we go over. Is Joey still in his room?
Yeah, sure. I'm taking a nap.
Okay. Your door chime rings.
Come on, it should be like, come in, like the door's not closed or anything.
the doors don't open or don't stay open, like they're automatic door,
okay.
but like you lock them so they don't just automatically open from the outside. But like
okay, so
basically you'll have like a kind of a key in your pocket or whatever that like when you approach it, it'll open from either side. For other people, it'll just open when they're approaching to leave. It won't open from the outside.
Okay.
So it's not a good way of doing it. So yeah, but you can also like vocally, or you can also unlock it just so that they can just come in. But yeah.
I'll do that. Okay. I still be like getting up. I'll be like, you can come in and like give whatever the command is.
Okay.
To open the door.
If you're just napping, how dressed are you?
I mean, clearly I'm completely naked.
You're completely naked. Okay.
No.
Come in.
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, that'd make the questioning really short.
Naps and stuff.
Oh, we'll come back later. I just sleep with my clothes on.
Okay. So yeah, the door slides open, and there's a male security officer there, and it's like Joey Brennan.
That's me.
Where were you between the hours of 1 p.m. and 3 p.m.?
I was here sleeping.
Okay.
Did something happen?
I see you're on your way to Agu 3.
Yes.
Reason for travel?
I'm just traveling with a couple of friends.
Okay. And your friends are?
One of my friends is Brendan Tarris.
Okay. And other friends? You said friends.
Wait, let's see. Let me find his name.
Ezekiel Corona.
Yeah, that. I'll just say that.
Ezekiel Corona. Okay. Do you know this man? Shows you a picture of with the name Charles Thetson. You don't recognize him.
Okay. Oh wait. What was it again?
He shows you the picture of Charles Thetson. It's somebody you don't recognize, but he's asking if you know him.
No. Who is this? I don't recognize him.
He was found murdered earlier today. Have you heard anything about that, or?
I've heard nothing.
Okay. So you said Brendan, Tarris, and Ezekiel Corona are the people you're traveling with.
Yes.
Okay. Well, if we have any further questions, we'll come check in with you. If you hear anything, see anything, let us know.
I'll come running right away.
Okay. Yeah. So then he leaves. So what are the two of you doing after you've each had security visit you about this?
I'll just wait a little bit, just to not raise any suspicion, just in case. I mean,
Okay.
it's not like I did anything, but like, I'll just wait. I'll say I'll wait like an hour, and then I go to Ezekiel.
Okay. Well, what about Brendan? What's Brendan doing?
I went to the buffet.
Being accused or being investigated makes you hungry.
Hey, maybe Brendan's a stress eater, okay?
Yeah. Okay, so Brendan goes to the buffet, starts eating. Well, after about an hour, Joey goes to Ezekiel's room and I guess hits the door chime. Or just knocks.
I didn't do bells.
Boots the door.
We actually have like some secret knock, like, you know.
Except he forgot to actually tell Ezekiel the secret knock. So Ezekiel's just in there like, what the hell?
Who the hell is banging on my door?
Perfectly good door chime.
I go over to check the video.
Yeah,
and
you see Joey standing outside there.
and I open the door.
The family wave.
That was the plan, by the way.
What's up?
Okay, have you? I mean, can I just ask him to let? I'll just ask him to let me in first.
Okay.
Yeah. Come on in. Close the door behind us.
We dim the lights. No.
R2, smooth jazz.
Beep boop.
Beep boop some more. I don't want to be here. No. So I just tell him like I just get him asked by the security like apparently someone has been murdered.
Oh yeah, I was kind of there when it happened, sort of.
Wait, you've been there?
Well, I was in the pool and it happened like kind of in the hallway just outside of the pool. I don't know. I was swimming and I heard a scream and I went over and there was a dead dude laying on the floor.
When was this?
Hmm.
A few hours ago, I guess.
It would have been at about
Probably 12 or something, I guess.
it would have been at like 2:15 or so when
Mm.
you heard the scream and all that or whatever.
Yeah. Why they? How did you hear about it?
I had a guy come to my room, ask me about it, or I know the guy. He's called
A guy.
Charles.
like-
Was it
like a
security or something?
Yeah,
Oh, secure. Oh,
yeah, it was a
okay.
person in a security uniform.
Yeah, they showed me this picture of Charles Teston.
That's in.
Don't know the guy, but
Oh, that's probably the guy who was killed. I don't know. I didn't catch his name. They questioned me when I was there, but I'm actually kind of surprised they haven't come around again.
maybe you should check on Brendan.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I wonder, maybe he has his communicator on him.
Does he have a communicator? I mean,
Did Brendan exchange like communicator numbers or whatever with Joey and Ezekiel?
I'd imagine so.
He's like, no, come find
Yeah.
me.
Good luck.
Okay.
and so our round of hide and seek begins.
Yeah.
Rest of the session, find Brendan.
So yeah, so he gave you his column number or the whatever the column code or whatever.
All right, so I'm gonna try to contact him real quick.
Okay.
So you just hear just a mouthful. Hello.
Hi, what?
Mm.
Are you gagged or something? Like, are you okay? You sound weird.
You faintly just hear just a deep thought. It's like, oh, sorry. I was eating. Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Oh, we should get together and talk about something.
Yeah. Where do you want to meet up?
Where are you now?
Right now I'm at the buffet.
Okay, we'll come to you. Joey's
All right.
with me.
All right. Sounds good then.
Okay, so we go to the buffet.
Okay.
I couldn't think of the word.
Yeah, words are hard.
Words are hard.
True.
Okay, so yeah, you go to the buffet and meet up with him. Probably get some food of your own, and you're all sitting at a table eating.
So, did they come around and question you as well? About the
Yeah.
murder? I assume you heard about it since they came
Yeah.
around to question Joey.
Yeah. I don't know who that person is. Do y'all?
I don't know. I was in the pool. Like, it happened near the pool, and I was in the pool when it happened. So I didn't see what happened, but like I heard. I don't know. Like, someone came across it and screamed. It sounded like a 4-year-old girl screaming, but when I got there, it was like a full-grown man. So
Well, the last thing we need is any unwanted attention on us. So let's try and keep a low profile on the situation.
yeah, my thoughts exactly.
So what's the plan then? We're just gonna keep low and
Yeah, try
let
and
this...
hopefully it's like maybe he was like an adulterer and his wife caught him with his mistress and she like killed him in a fit of rage.
So what did y'all tell
Open
the
and shut
guards?
case. The truth, I didn't see anything.
And save for me.
Okay.
I want all three of you to make me a perception check.
Damn it.
Ooh. I just realized I still have my doesn't matter the name, I guess.
Fuck.
He notices his own feet.
Okay, so Joey notices over at another table there is a security guard, different one than the one that talked to you, that keeps glancing at the three of you. This one is a woman.
Like, I'll just like, guys, I think we're being watched.
Kind of look at Joey, look at Brendan, and just kind of like, and without moving my head, just kind of like gaze around the room.
Same.
Yeah.
Like, I'll try to point with my hand, like I'll just be like try to point with my fingers, like.
Roll me a hide sneak for doing that subtly.
Let me get that perfect roll real quick. I mean,
13. Okay. So yeah, you kind of point out security guard. Brendan recognizes her. She's the one who went and talked to him. Yeah.
Yeah. So I start was like, oh, she's the one that questioned me, and just take a big old bite of food. Just like, oh god.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Ezekiel might have seen. She wasn't the one. She wasn't like the guard that talked to Ezekiel, but she was one of the ones like that had been come there and was like asking around and such.
Was it a female guard that talked to me? I can't remember.
I don't remember if it was male or female that talked to you.
Okay.
But
not that it matters really that much. Well, if she's the one who came to talk to you and she's taking an interest in us, then maybe she's interested in you.
That would be.
But like not in the ideal way. Although maybe in the ideal way, we don't know.
I mean, I did mention eating eggs. She might be into that.
Wait, eating X? What did she ask you?
She asked me what I was going to the planet for.
Same.
And you told her you were going to eat eggs.
Yeah, I was there for the culinary experience.
I mean, I was just honest.
Ezekiel kind of does one of these. Okay.
I mean, she asked me the same thing. I just honest.
No, it was a guy that asked you.
Oh yeah. I mean, I could just like mention like the guy who asked, or like the guard who asked me. I just told him the truth, like who I was traveling with, why I was going, or at least
Wait, you told
where
him
we're
traveling with?
Yeah. You know, just like as a kind of a backup. I was not expecting him to go like, I'm gonna go there for X. Because I mean, do we really have anything to hide?
Well,
I mean, I sort of hushed like I have a few things I need to hide. I hope you didn't use my name.
kind of look over at Brendan. What do you need to hide?
Let's just say me and the Imperials aren't the best of friends. And I just quietly just nibble on my food a little bit, just like, yeah.
I kind of get down lower. You don't think that's something that we might have needed to know beforehand?
I didn't trust y'all. I don't know who y'all are.
So instead, you put a target on our backs.
Kind of.
Good going, Eggman.
That's good.
It's like, this is my first time by myself. I'm not used to this.
So what do we do now?
All right. Here's what we do. Let's see if we can figure out who she's interested in, or if she's interested in the whole group. One at a time, we'll get up and we'll walk out, starting with Brendan, excuse me. You go first, and then one of us will follow.
All right. So,
I should we really go in the same direction though? That might just cause suspicion, whatever there's this.
Should we all just get up at once and all go in opposite directions then? That actually sounds like a better plan.
Yeah. Sorry, not in Galaxy. It's just his in, guys, and break.
Break single file.
Yeah.
All right, let's
we leave in separate directions in single file.
All right, let's do that.
Okay.
Ezekiel stands up and goes over to the bar.
Okay. Where is Joey going?
I'm gonna just first grab myself a few snacks and then go to the room.
Go to your room. Okay. And where's Brendan going?
I'm gonna grab a couple. I'm gonna assume that I had rolls. I'm gonna grab a couple rolls and head to the pool.
Okay. You're heading to the pool with some rolls. Okay.
The pool where someone was murdered earlier.
I mean, no.
Well,
good choice.
It was outside the pool that someone was murdered.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
I mean, murder always goes back to the place of the crime.
Okay. And then as you're all going to your places, I want you each to make me a perception roll.
Oh, damn it. It's so bad, guys.
Team 7.
9, 7, and 14. So as you get up and go in your separate locations, your separate directions, you all three of you do notice that the security guard is just staying at the table she was sitting at. What Brendan also notices, though, is she kind of just like taps her comm and is kind of like whispering something.
Killer's going outside, guys. Taken.
So Brendan notices that the two Joey and Ezekiel don't. They just notice that she's still sitting there.
Got an eye on the Eggman. Keeping track.
So yeah. So now Ezekiel is at the bar. There's a droid bartender. Joey's gone back to his room, and Brendan finds his way to the pool, which is pretty empty right now.
Big
Like,
shock.
there's one person swimming in it, but they're like they're in the part of the pool and just like swimming like back and forth. That like this is probably like a professional like swimmer. They're like getting in their daily training or whatever. So like they're doing that regardless. Nobody's actually just in the like the more casual areas of the pool.
Well, I just imagine, since I'm not the strongest swimmer, I'm just like chilling on one of the chairs, just lounging.
Okay.
Getting a little bit of a tan.
Yeah, take a space tan.
That's called gamma radiation, and now you have cancer.
But I look good.
Yeah. So yeah, you're just lounging around. After a bit, you see somebody else coming into the pool, and just actually just going in and just sitting in like the hot tub. Somebody.
She's a very hot lady. She takes her top off.
No, you just see somebody going and just sitting in the hot tub.
Is it the guard from earlier?
It's not. No, it's not.
Okay.
One of the security guards you've seen.
I was gonna hope it was Gerald.
Yeah. So then Ezekiel at the bar. What you drinking?
Gonna have to go with I think a space whiskey neat.
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
you're drinking that. Probably like keeping your eye on the bar or the like on the other patrons and such, whatever. It's mostly passengers in here. There's like a few crew, but you're not seeing any like anyone in the security uniforms. You're just like seeing some crew like like that are just like kind of in their off hours or whatever, taking their.
That's the best time.
Yeah. And yeah. Roll me a perception.
Not again. Dear God.
6.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah, and then just a nice people just enjoying a nice evening at the bar.
Nothing out of the ordinary here.
Nothing out of the ordinary. So,
what day are we on now?
you're still on day 2. You're in the
Day
evening
2,
of day
okay.
2.
Okay.
And it was a 5-day, I believe is what I said.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Are you just staying in the bar for a while?
I mean, Ezekiel likes his space whiskey. It was never revealed, but he's the kind who would close down the bar.
Okay. And on a ship like this, the bar doesn't ever really close.
Yes.
So Because I mean,
All right. Well, I mean, around like since we're using real time, we'll say around like 2 or 3 a.m. He finally, with the help of R2, stumbles back to his room.
okay. How long is Brendan staying in the pool?
Not for long,
Okay.
hour or two.
Okay, you're just staying there for an hour or two. And then after that, I assume you go back to your room?
Yeah.
Okay. And Joey was just already in his room and staying there.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, as Ezekiel and R2 go back to their room, what are base stats for an R2 unit?
His perception's probably better than mine.
1D. Here we go. See page 112.
To save time, like, can I just skip doing perception rolls and just say that I fail every time?
Oh, this is page 112. That doesn't actually give me the stats. Let me go back to the page I was on. I know it's in here somewhere. I must have just missed it. Oh, it is there. Okay, so they have computer. Unit has computer program repair of 70, starter repair of 70. Okay. So then R2, as you return to your room, is kind of says beep boop bop, which you understand as like him basically saying that something is like basically causing like a slight buzz in his sensors, which indicates or likely indicates the presence of like a bug or something.
Like a computer bug, you mean?
Like a listening in on you bug.
Oh. Okay. Do you think was like planted on you somehow?
Beep boop bop. It happened as we came into the room.
Oh, so it's in here. Just kind of look around with one eye open. Can you pinpoint where it's coming from?
Beep boop bop starts kind of moving around, and kind of stops under like an air vent and says that it's strongest here.
I'm gonna go over to the vent and kind of look up and see if I can see anything in it.
Roll me a perception.
Figure. I see that it's a vent.
Did you roll or?
Yeah, 7.
Oh, it doesn't show for me.
Doesn't show for me either.
Really?
Well, re-roll.
There we go. Now it shows it's 6 or 12.
Weird.
6 was so because it showed your 6 and then it shows your 12 now. It doesn't show your 7.
Yeah.
Weird.
So, yeah, you look around, and yeah, up in the vent you see you find a listening device, like just a small little little thing or whatever.
Can I reach the vent?
Yeah. That's how you saw it. I assume.
Oh, I like pulled it down. Okay,
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
holding it basically.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna hand it to R2 and kind of gesture that he put it like in one of his like storage compartment.
Okay. Yeah, he does that.
I was expecting a.
Well, I want to see if I can figure out where it's coming from. So I'm gonna see. Well, I'm gonna ask R2. Can you trace where the signal is being sent?
Beep boop. Let's see. Really good roll. So, R2 has, computer program repair of 7D.
Mm-hmm.
He rolled a 39? No.
39? What?
Let's see, 24, 34, 37. So you got 4 6s, 2 5s, and a 3.
Jeez.
Jesus.
That's a pretty good roll.
Yeah.
I guess he took all your good rolls.
So he tells you that it seems to be transmitting to somewhere in the area of like the bridge and the captain's office and such. I can't get it more narrowed down than that.
All right. Let's go see if we can talk to them. They want to talk to us. Let's go see if we can talk to them.
Okay. So, are you just going by yourself, or with you and R2 just?
Yeah.
Okay. How much did you have to drink?
He's mega drunk.
We'll say like 6 glasses of whiskey, like 6 1-ounce portions.
Okay.
But he's like if he's someone who can close down a bar, he's someone who has a relatively high tolerance. So 6 is still a lot, but he wouldn't be like incoherent.
Okay.
Starts pinching everyone in the crew.
So yeah, you go up to the well, you're approaching the bridge, and then as you're getting like closer to it, like there's like come across like doors that say crew only beyond this point.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing when you come to those doors?
Are there any so is it a door that's blocking my path?
Yeah, it's a door in your path.
So I'm gonna push is there a chime button on the door panel?
No, this door just has just like it has a computer pad like next to it or whatever, but there's no like chime or whatever.
Is there an open button? Like just a button that you would push to open the door?
Yeah, there is. But when you press it, it asks for a code.
Okay. I'm going to come back to this. So Ezekiel decides that without gathering more information, it's probably not a good idea to break into the command area of the ship. So he's going to go and
sounds like a great idea.
He's going to what?
He's going to go talk to Joey.
Okay. So you go to Joey's room where Joey's probably sleeping. That'd be my assumption. Is that a correct assumption?
I did wake up, so let's what could I do in my room in the meantime?
Okay, so this is like kind of nighttime. Like obviously it's on a ship, so like day and night is simulated, but this is kind of like what's kind of ship nighttime or whatever. So what are you doing?
You know what? I'm just looking at old pictures of the sister.
Old family photos.
Yeah.
Well, digital pictures, but yeah. Okay. So you look at old pictures when Ezekiel comes and hits your door chime.
So before I hit the door chime, I'm gonna turn to R2 and ask if he's picking up any distortions. Like before.
Beep boop. It says no, but I didn't actually detect it until we entered our room.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you caught it in the hall. Okay. All right, so I hit the door chime.
Hello?
Hey, sorry, I know it's late, but we kind of need to talk.
Okay. Door open.
The door opens, and as you enter, R2 is like beep boop, like he's picking up something and moves around again under the vent. He goes and
so
what's with this?
Without saying anything, I just kind of look at Joey and do one of these, and I go over to the vent and retrieve the bug.
Yep.
And I give it to R2. I assume that once it's in there, like they wouldn't be able to hear us. Is that a correct assumption?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess we just have like a jammer or something or whatever.
No. See, it would still be transmitting from inside R2, but it's just not picking up any noises. Because
it completely muffles it away.
Yeah, so they still be picking up the signal. They're just hearing silence from it.
All right.
So once it's put away, I turn to Joey and I go, I had one of those in my room as well. I think it's safe to assume that Brendan's room is probably bugged too.
We should probably go check since you came here to check at mine.
Yeah. Are you gonna stay here, or are you coming with?
I'll come with you.
Okay. All right, so we go off to Brendan's room then.
Okay. So you go over to Brendan's room. I assume hit the door chime.
Bing bong.
I open the door. Like, oh, something I can help you all with?
Again, I just kind of do one of these to him and signal R2 to go inside.
Yeah, R2 again goes under the vent and,
So again, I'll go to retrieve it and give it off to him. And I turn to Brendan and I say, both our rooms were bugged as well. They're looking into us for some reason.
Oh, great. Hope they're not looking too deep.
Why? What are they going to find if they look too deep?
Oh, nothing.
I know what lies down my rabbit hole. I want to know what lies down yours.
I may have gone into one squabble, but nothing too serious. I don't think anything came of it.
One squabble with whom?
Well, the Imperials.
So I just bring up, like, does this have anything to do with you saying I shouldn't mention my sister's name?
Yeah.
Define squabble. When you say squabble,
I mean,
do you mean like you stole like a stormtrooper helmet for the nostalgia of it, or are we talking about like you're wanted by Imperial forces?
I don't know how much I can actually tell you. It's sort of need to know.
Well, I kind of need to know since now I'm being looked into as well.
I'm just gonna, let's just say I work for the opposition. And we're gonna leave
Ezekiel
it at
knows of the rebels, right?
Yes.
So you're working with the rebels then?
yeah.
So wait, does that mean my sister always is working with the rebels?
Yeah.
And yeah, Joey wouldn't exactly like. Obviously, he knows what the word rebels means, but he doesn't know about like the Rebel Alliance specifically.
I just first didn't like
Yeah.
these rebels, like
Yeah.
they go fake.
Is she one of them rebels too?
Okay. Really wish I had known that going into this.
I'm sure it'll be fine. It's just got to keep our heads down. Things usually work pretty smoothly whenever I'm doing things. So we should have no problem at all. None.
Right. Okay. You two should probably well, at least Brendan should probably stay here and lay low. I'm gonna see if I can get a meeting with the head of security or someone.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right. Sounds good.
Does Joey want to come as well, or?
Yeah, I'll come along.
Yeah. Okay.
Then also,
is
then again, if we're leaving him behind, might that not raise suspicion? Like if it's just like we happen to leaving him behind to not join, because they start asking questions like, why didn't we bring him?
It's a good point. All right, let's bring him. Is there a ship's communication system that you can communicate with people throughout the ship? Like if I needed to contact security, I could contact security.
Yeah. Remember, I mentioned
Okay.
that the person who had screamed earlier was on the comm with calling like security and everything.
Okay, so I'm gonna call
because each room is equipped with like a comm unit, and then there's also along in like the corridors and various like public areas and such.
So I'm gonna call. I'm gonna call security.
Okay. Are you doing it from the comm in Brendan's room, or are you going onto the corridor and finding the nearest one, or the furthest one? Or somewhere in between.
You know what? I'm gonna go. Let's go to the buffet.
Okay.
Let's do it in an open area, so that I don't have to have a crazy perception roll to see things.
Okay.
I mean, in fairness, I might also give them the impression like, oh, maybe they don't have anything. We're just looking at the wrong person.
Yeah.
Okay. So all three of you go, I'm assuming, to the cafeteria then?
Sure.
Okay. The buffet area. Okay.
And then from there, I'm gonna contact security.
Okay. You go there, and it's being like night. It's fairly empty, but being simulated night, some people that have different schedules that are like there eating and such. Because some people don't actually are just going on their own schedule, not the ship's schedule and such.
Mm-hmm.
So there are definitely people in there and such. And Ezekiel goes over to a comm unit and puts in a call to security, which is right away answered with, yes, how can we help you?
I mean, you could help me by trying to help me understand why there was a listening device in my room.
Who is this?
My name is Ezekiel Corona.
One moment, please. Kong goes quiet for a second or whatever. But like, but like from like a mute button type quiet, not from like a call cutting out. Just
right.
Goes quiet for a bit, and then person's like, there will be someone down to answer your questions right away.
I'm sure there will be.
Yeah, same. Expecting some guards.
So I gotta go sit back down with the other two.
Okay. And then as you're sitting there, four security guards come in after a few minutes and look around, spot the three of you pretty quickly, and come over to you. Three of you better come with us, please.
You're not taking us to an airlock, are you?
No. Why would we take you to an airlock?
I don't know. Just making conversation.
I mean, what seems to be the problem?
You better just come with us.
Well, do we?
Their blasters are holstered, but they put their hands next to their blasters as they say, "You better come with us."
I was gonna say, I feel like it wasn't exactly a question.
Yeah. All right, I'm down to go with then.
Okay.
Okay.
So, you're led down the corridors and through the doors that say, let's say crew only, and you are led into a looks kind of like a meeting room. There's like kind of a long table. At the end of it is the ship captain, and then next to him there's a chair that's turned. So there's somebody sitting in it, but they're facing the other direction. So you can't. It's a high back chair or whatever, so you can't really you can tell somebody's sitting in there, but you can't actually see anything of them.
Okay. Gonna walk in and
in the meantime, I'll follow.
Just kind of look around. Like, no, nice place.
The captain's like, "Oh, please sit down."
I'll take a seat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm the wrong character. I was gonna say I'm gonna lean against the wall.
So
I'll just sit down.
Brendan Tarris, Joey Brinaby, and Ezekiel Corona.
I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
I am Captain Montgomery. Captain Montgomery.
I was gonna say, please say Burns.
No. No, not Burns. Montgomery Guston.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. Can you tell us why there was bugs in our room?
At this point, the chair that was faced away turns around, and you see somebody in an Imperial uniform. OBS, why are you wanting to update while we're in the middle of a stream? Remind me later. There we go. And I guess Brendan hasn't met Lieutenant. What's his name? Where do I have it? I don't think he's met Lieutenant Balthazar.
Pretty much believe we've murdered every Imperial that we've met that really gotten to know us.
Assumed murdered.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I have that one actually on paper, don't I? Yes, Lieutenant Simon Balthazar. But yeah, so you haven't met him, so you don't actually know his name. But yeah. So you see an Imperial wearing he has rank insignia that Ezekiel and Brendan would recognize means lieutenant. Joey probably wouldn't. Joey would still recognize that it's an Imperial uniform. Like, his planet isn't that, like, well, I mean, yeah, he knows of the Empire. He doesn't know, like, much about it, but he knows of the Empire. So he turns around and he's like, because we suspect you of being rebels.
Rebels?
Members of the Rebel Alliance?
No, I know who you meant. I just meant more of like a disbelief statement.
Brendan here matches the description of somebody who has been seen with some known rebels. And Joey Brinaby.
That would be me.
And any relation to a Zoe Brinaby?
That is my sister, yes. I'm looking for her. I don't know the exact time frame, though, of, like, when the whole thing happened, though.
She's been missing for, like, a number of months. Probably, like, 6 to 9 months, something like that, probably.
No, I'll just make that. I'll say that.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Also, like, as he said her name, he kind of rubbed his face a little bit. He's the one that got punched out by her, for anybody that's forgotten.
Oh.
But yeah.
That's funny.
She's your sister, indeed, I'm sure. So, see, your sister is a known rebel.
So I don't know what the rebel is, right?
You don't really you know, like, you know what, like, the noun rebel means, so like lowercase rebel, but you don't know specifically of the Rebel Alliance. But you know, like, rebels are people that are, like, you know, rebelling against something.
A rebel? A what now?
I was just on Trikelian, such just as yourselves, and we had some stormtroopers under my command had an encounter with 2 individuals wielding lightsabers. Would any of you know anything about that?
what do I know in general about it? Like, do I know anything of the Jedi? Like, since they're supposedly
You don't know anything about the
gone.
Jedi. You live on your planet, like they don't even really know about the Jedi. So
Can't say that I know. Not familiar with what these Jedi are.
he didn't even say Jedi. He said lightsaber. He said two individuals were using lightsabers.
Oh.
And again, you wouldn't know what a lightsaber is, though.
The
I have no idea what a lightsaber is.
The only thing I know about lightsabers is when I see one, I turn the other direction because they're nothing but trouble.
Brendan? Mr. Tarris?
I don't know anything about that.
What were you doing on Tricalian?
Just visiting up some people. Nothing important, just some friends.
What friends?
Well, I mean, I just sort of just pointed those guys, like meeting up with friends.
Mm-hmm. How long have you known them for?
Not too long. For a short amount of time, but decided to go on a trip with them.
He looks down at a computer pad. To Egu 3 for eggs.
Yeah. I sort of forced them along. They're really not excited about this trip, but I'm somewhat of a culinary person myself, and I just heard a lot about that place.
Uh-huh. So then you are claiming that you are not a member of the Rebel Alliance?
Oh no, of course not. No, never.
So you're not familiar with... Keljo Davaris and Theo, what's Theo's last name?
Gallagher.
Theo Gallagher, Jacen, any of those people?
Wait, that last one doesn't have a last name? Is he like Space Prince?
I don't know. Jason's a bit of a weird one.
What? I just asked, like, why is he weird?
He was one of the individuals with a lightsaber, we believe, back just on Tricalian.
Oh.
Not so good with it, from my understanding, though. And Brendan, do you know Joey's sister Zoe?
Not that I can recall. No, I don't believe I've ever heard of her.
And Joey, you're claiming that you haven't seen her since before she joined the Rebels?
No, she's been gone for like 6 to 9 months. She's got kidnapped.
She's been gone for like 6, maybe a year. I don't know.
Well, you presumably say the actual amount of time. I'm just not sure of it myself.
Yeah, I don't know either. So like,
well, Joey would know how long she's been missing for, so he would say the actual time.
I was asking her, and she didn't even know. Like, she didn't really give a specific timeline. I could just simplify, like, just like missing for months, not directly specify.
Well, Joey would know how long she's been missing for, so he can just
so
he can say the actual number without us knowing it. Yes, don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah. So he says that, and it's like, okay. Brendan, have you ever been to the planet Pluraltel. That was one that the Rebel base was on that got evacuated. That was the one with the Imperial, where the Imperial base that you've been to, that you infiltrated, and then made a explosive retreat from.
So I lean back. I just start saying the plan. It's just like I'm trying to recall. Like,
Nope, doesn't ring a bell.
Is that the place with like a really good soup? So I go to planets for food, so I'm trying to remember if I've ever been there.
Captain, please confine them to holding cells, separate holding cells. So that
For what? I'm sorry, Lieutenant
Simon Balthazar.
Okay. Why are you locking us up?
Because I don't trust any of you. And I'd like to question you individually when you can't be hearing each other's answers.
I like that.
So,
could I possibly do any sort of bureaucracy check to see if they could actually do that?
roll me a knowledge bureaucracy.
All right.
Let's go 30.
Yeah. Let's go high numbers. Make sure I got this right. Yeah, it's
Also, is there like a chance we could have say like we discussed the whole plan like that we're all in the same kind of story we're on?
21. Yeah, the lieutenant is well within his rights to do this. The Empire kind of, is an authoritarian state, so military can kind of do what they want.
Mm-hmm.
So, the security guards, each of them go to one of you and it's like, please come with me or whatever.
I would just be casual and don't resist. Don't think we need more trouble than we're already supposedly in.
Joey just goes. Ezekiel and Brendan.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Each of you, as well as R2A1, are each brought to separate holding cells.
They put R2 in a separate holding cell?
Yes.
That's just mean.
Poor little robot. We give him a hug.
He's just a poor little droid.
Yeah. Okay. So then Lieutenant Balthazar goes first to goes first to Joey's cell.
Excuse me.
So
I propose the guy an arm wrestle. I roll my strength.
So he stands outside your cell because it's one of those ones that's just like 3 walls and then a force field on the front and such. So he stands outside your cell and he's like, "So, Mr. Brinnaby, how long have you known Ezekiel and Brendan for?"
Only recently.
How recently?
Couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks. And after a couple of weeks, you decided to go on this trip with them?
Well, as for Ezekiel, he was one of the people that could potentially help me find my sister. Because I picked up a trace to where, we left from.
Okay. How was he going to help you find your sister?
He might have potentially been able to look for some leads to see where she could have been.
Is he a detective or something?
I don't specifically know, actually.
So why did you think he'd be able to help you?
I've just been asking around, basically.
You were asking around, and someone suggested him.
I don't know. Like, how did I actually find him?
Yeah, you kind of were asking around, like, for like anybody that would like know how to like hack into systems or something. You're hoping to like get like somebody that could like look into like security cams or that kind of a thing. And eventually you got kind of pointed in Ezekiel's direction.
I'll just mention like this like someone well with security, like since the sister has been kidnapped, so I'm sure not any like say like not anything that could potentially be a gang that kidnapped her. So like I need someone who could access their system.
Access their systems. So like a computer hacker or
well, I mean all of us refer to as a security guy. So at least on my own planet that I could look for. Don't actually know where planet I'm from, so
I can't remember if she's ever given the name of the planet.
no, the only thing she did was like some backwater planet.
Yeah.
Planet Backwater.
No. Okay. I'll be back shortly. So
all right, have fun.
Next, he goes to Brendan. He's like, okay, so you were saying you haven't known Joey and Ezekiel for long, but how long exactly have you known them for?
I believe I said like maybe around a month at most. Back at the table.
You just said you haven't known them for long. You'd actually specify it.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember like a month tops.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not good with remembering time.
And you're aware Joey is looking for his sister?
Yeah. He's talked about her. I mean, that's sort of his sort of how we met, just because he brought that up, and I just sort of hung along.
Okay. And so is he putting his search for his sister on hold to go on this trip with you?
I don't think so. I mean, he doesn't really say too much about it to me. I don't know if it's just because he doesn't trust me, but
Is there a reason he wouldn't trust you?
That you'd have to ask him.
Do you trust him?
Well enough to go on a trip with him.
Yeah, that's right, Brandon. Take a vacation with me.
Okay.
Well enough to go get some delicious eggs with him.
Okay. And you said you were unsure if you've ever been to Pluraltel.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a traveler. I really like planets and culture and food. So, I got a blog. You should check it out.
BrandonBlocks.com.
Yeah.
Okay. And how long have you known? And how exactly did you and Ezekiel meet?
He was with Joey whenever we met.
Okay. And you said that was like about a month or so ago?
Roughly. I mean, I could be off. I'm not good with this stuff.
Okay. I'll be back shortly. So now he goes to Ezekiel's cell. He's like, Mr. Corona, how long have you known Joey and Brendan for?
I don't know, a month or two, maybe longer.
Okay. How did you meet them?
Well, I'm helping Joey try to find his sister, like we were telling you we were looking for.
Helping how?
Turning over rocks, asking people questions, that sort of thing.
Getting into computer systems?
What's a computer system?
And where are you from?
Like nowhere really.
Everyone's from somewhere.
Well,
Well, that just
I
happens to be my planet somewhere.
I don't remember which planet I was born on and lived on when the Imperial forces killed my parents and orphaned me as a child. So, again, I'm gonna go with nowhere.
You're orphaned by Imperial forces.
It's one way to look at it, anyway.
So then you don't exactly, you probably don't have a very high opinion of the Empire.
I mean, I don't really have a high opinion of anyone.
How did you and Brendan meet?
In a bar, of course.
Okay. Where did you meet? Like which bar?
I'm just gonna like reference one of the bars on the planet. What was the planet we were on? Shit.
Trichellian.
Dracalian, yeah, there it is. Yeah, I'll just reference one of the bars on there, but not the one that we were actually at.
Okay. And how long ago was that?
Again, like a month or two. We met in a bar, man. Memories are hazy.
Okay. And you agree to go on this trip with him for eggs.
Yeah. Well, Joey and I have been looking for his sister pretty exhaustively, and we needed to recharge. And I like eggs.
Mm-hmm. Have you had any leads in finding Zoe?
I wish. Why? Do you know something?
I know she's a member of the Rebel Alliance.
Well, that's news to me. How did she wind up with them?
That I couldn't tell you.
So I guess you want to find her just as bad as we do then.
Indeed. Her and her friends.
Is my R2 unit okay?
Yeah. I'll be questioning him next.
Oh, okay.
I'll probably be back shortly.
You know he doesn't speak English, right?
I am aware.
Just checking.
I didn't exactly become a lieutenant by being a moron. This is the...
No.
I'm a member of the Imperial Navy,
sure?
not the Rebel Alliance.
I just kind of like put my head down and like kind of like twiddle my thumbs, be like, well, just come back to me when you're a captain.
Little mobs himself, you sure?
So yeah, so he leaves, and then his questions are two. Then he returns to Joey's cell.
I'm sitting on the floor against the wall.
Okay, so he comes in. He asks you, so, Mr. Brinnaby, I take it you like eggs?
I'm not against eggs. I'm not going to say they're my favorite, but I don't mind eggs.
And, So why are you taking a break from the search for your sister?
Well, we're getting a bit worn out, you know. I'm sure you know how it is when you search for something for a while, like you just can't seem to find any leads or anything.
Still can't find that remote control.
I've actually been fairly successful in my career at finding what I'm looking for. So no, I don't know that feeling.
I'm sure that's why you're a lieutenant, I think.
So what are your plans once you find your sister?
Well, go home, obviously.
With her?
Preferably.
Do you think she
I feel like
wants to go home?
Maybe. After all, she's allowed to make her own choices if she wants to.
And if that choice is to continue being part of the Rebel Alliance?
I mean, I still have no idea what this Rebel Alliance is, so...
Indeed. What planet did you say you're from? Your character says the name of the planet. You don't actually have to. At least I assume you're saying the actual... Joey saying the actual name. Okay. Bit of a backwater planet. But good to know. Good to know. So, how did you and Brendan meet?
Oof. Must have been a couple of weeks ago.
How, I said, not when.
Oh, how? Well, I think it's one of those players just like when we're asking for information, like we happen to stumble upon it, and he seemed to be in a bit of a pickle.
You're asking for information, and he seemed to be in a pickle? What kind of information?
Well, we were just generally asking people for information, not like knowing where he had any.
And did he have
seemed
any?
to be dealing with nothing really, or at least nothing he was telling me.
Nothing he was telling you. Okay. And what kind of pickle did he seem to be in?
He seemed to be having some travel issues, so I just wanted to help him out.
What kind of travel issues?
Well, he had no means of traveling.
No means of traveling. Okay. You know why not?
I'm not aware of that.
Okay.
No, just trying to be helpful. It's who I am.
So, question for Brendan: where he stashed the or where he put the data disk he was given?
Wait.
No, this is out of character asking.
Yeah. I imagine I put it in a bag that I have somewhere just secluded, like in a private spot in my room.
In your room? Okay. I want you to roll me a retroactive hide sneak for how well you hit it.
All right. Hopefully, I don't just have it out on the bed. I have it with a sign. With a sign. Here's the data pad.
No, just like it's like on the wall with a note on it, like important item. All right.
16.
Please don't steal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imperial
For
no
rebel eyes
sniping.
only. Don't touch.
swipey, no swiping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Repair, no swipey.
Okay.
I put a little sticky note saying Wookiee porn, don't touch. I'll keep everyone off.
Okay. So then, Tenant leaves Joey's cell again and returns to Brendan's. Mr. Tarris.
Yes.
Are you comfortable in your cell?
Not used to being in a cell, but I guess it's not too bad.
Could use a pillow.
The turn down service is terrible.
So we found a very interesting item in your room. Mind telling us a bit about it?
I mean, I have a lot of interesting items in my room. Could you specify?
You know what I'm talking about.
I really don't.
Roll me a perception.
Wrong thing. God.
Oof. Oof. Then just click that picture away. You don't want to see that.
9. Okay. You're kind of looking at him, and you're like, this guy definitely found something. And he's like, I think you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Do you see my my risky novels I have? Because I mean, I was bringing them for a friend. That's about it.
Do you really want to play this game with me?
I mean, I'm pretty good at it, so.
And so Brendan gets executed on the spot.
Yeah.
Roll me a con.
Ooh,
16.
not bad. Not bad.
Better than my 9.
Indeed.
He goes over and actually turns off the force field as he takes out his blaster and points it at you. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, great. I just say it's of nothing of importance. It's nothing.
It's nothing?
No, it's nothing.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, definitely.
Roll
Shoots him
me
in the knee.
roll me another con.
Oh. 18.
Well,
I mean, still a solid 15.
yeah, keeping it steady, keeping it steady.
He backs up, turns the force field back on, and holsters his blaster. And then turns on his comm, searches his room harder. There's something in there.
Oh. Told you should have brought those risky magazines from the store.
You might want to let us know what it is before we find it. Might go easier on you.
If I could think of something that is of interest to y'all, I will let you know.
1 second here. Need to ban a user. There we go.
Bye. And I too will do something.
Okay, sorry, where were we at? You were just saying what? I got
But
distracted
you
by
told
the
them to
troll.
search his
Yeah.
to search his room harder.
Yeah. And had you said something to that?
Yeah, I said, well, you asked, or you said to let y'all know if I find any, or if there is anything of importance. And I said if I could think of something, I'll let y'all know.
Okay. Yeah. What was the roll you had on your hide sneak again before?
Like a 54. Let me see. I think it was a 16. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 16.
So then, after a minute, there's a, he listens in again. Data disk. Okay. Bring it to me. So, what are we going to find on that data disk?
Completely forgot I had that. Nothing important. I like picking up recipes from the planets I go to, so just a lot of recipes.
A lot of recipes.
A
Yeah.
lot of Wookiee porn.
So much wiki porn.
Okay. He leaves and then goes back to Ezekiel's cell.
Who is there a bench in the cell, like against one of the walls?
Yeah.
So Ezekiel is like kind of upside down with his back on the bench, feet up the wall, with his head just kind of hanging down, looking through the force field.
Mr. Corona.
He doesn't move. Hi.
So we've just located a data disk in Brendan's room.
Okay, why are you asking me about it?
Based on things your friend Joey said, I'm assuming you know a thing or two about computers.
I mean, I know how to turn one on.
Based on things he said, you're a bit of an expert with computers.
You know what? You show one person how to reset their password, and they think you're just a computer whiz. Like,
why did he come to you for assistance?
he was desperate, probably.
What kind of assistance can you provide? Were you able to provide him?
We just went looking for his sister. He thought that she might have come to the planet that I was on, and I just happened to be there, and I think he thought that I looked helpful. Do you feel like I'm helpful?
Not so far. You could be helpful, though.
Why would I want to be helpful when I'm locked in a cell?
Well, maybe you've just wound up in a bad situation. Accidentally joined up with a rebel and the brother of another rebel, and you're just in over your head.
Okay.
Maybe you help us decode what's on this data disk. Maybe you walk free.
Ezekiel kind of sits up. I mean, it's probably just Wookiee porn.
Yeah, like, Brendan once meant he's
Maybe it is. Maybe this is a whole big misunderstanding. Maybe you're all free to go.
You know,
So
keep on
you-
saying wiki porn. Just puts mine and Dan the Wiki's relationship just in serious question.
Perfect.
So at this point, I'm gonna be standing up. So let me get this straight. I'll help you decode this disc, and I get to walk away scot-free. You'll just leave me alone.
Assuming there's nothing on it incriminating to you.
Don't you have people to do this for you?
We're in hyperspace aboard a passenger ship.
Oh, so you're just here by yourself then? You didn't bring like a team with you to do this sort of thing?
I mean, did you notice that I've been using the ship's security personnel?
I mean, budget cuts. I get it, man. All right. But on one condition, I need my R2 unit with me as well.
Not a problem.
All right, then we got a deal.
Okay. So, he brings you, and then one of the security brings the R2 unit to a computer room where they also have the data disk, and it's like, okay, this is your workstation, and yeah.
Okay. Ever a time to roll low? This is the time.
Okay, so what, they give me the data disk to work on at a terminal then?
Yep.
How many people are in the room?
There is a guard stationed outside, and then the lieutenant is with you in the room.
Okay. I probably wouldn't know this, but I'm going to ask anyway. Would I know? Well, I mean, I can assume that because he's asking me to help him, he doesn't have the technical skills himself to do it.
That would definitely be an assumption. Maybe
So,
maybe even a safe one.
So could I also possibly assume that if I were to be like presumably writing a computer code to decrypt the disk, that he wouldn't know what any of it means? Assuming.
You could certainly assume that. You don't know what his level of expertise is, though. Like, he might, depending on what you're doing, he might know if you're, doing something you shouldn't be.
Okay, so in that case, I'm going to start writing a code to decrypt it, and I'm going to tell him that I'm writing a program to decrypt it.
Okay.
But I'm going to make some obvious errors that, like, someone who knew how to do this sort of thing would pick up on, like, just kind of looking at it.
Okay. Roll me a computer program repair.
Sorry, just gonna text. That was not a good roll. Shit.
Yeah. He looks at yeah, he's watching as you're writing the code, and he doesn't say anything.
Okay. So at this point, I'm gonna stop and go, oh wait, I screwed up, and kind of like delete a bunch of stuff, and then proceed to write a new code that basically basically wipes the disc and imprints Wookiee porn onto it.
Okay, I'm going to need you to make me 2 rolls for that.
Okay, you know,
Okay.
this is the time for that force point.
Both
computer program repair.
both computer. Okay.
All right.
18 for the first one, and 21 for the
Ooh.
second one. Okay. So yeah, you do it, and then so yeah, you finish writing your code, and you're going to, I guess, now enact it.
Yep.
Okay, so you hit the button, and on the screen, 2 Wookiees going at it comes up.
I hope that Yada's still watching.
I just kind of look at him. I'm like, see, I told you, Wookiee porn.
He goes and like
And it gets all red.
turns it off.
Looking great.
Okay. You and your R2 unit can return to your room. Security guard will escort you through the crew area back into the common area.
What about the other 2?
I'll go be seeing both of them now. But you can go.
All right. Well, I mean, it's been fun.
So,
R2 and I leave and head back to our room.
Yeah. So then Lieutenant Balthazar goes back to Brendan's cell.
He looks at Brendan with disgust.
Just shaking his head.
Mr. Tarris.
Yeah.
What do you want to tell me about the data disk you had in your room?
I hope you found it to be very delicious to look at.
Earlier when he asked you, you said recipes, right?
Yes, that's why I'm saying that. Okay. I'm keeping up the obliviousness.
You said you had recipes on there.
Yeah. My, passed down from family. We were really into this stuff.
Is that all you had on there?
I mean, yeah. Why? Did you like what you saw?
What we found on there was not recipes.
Oh, what did you see?
There was Wookiee porn on your data disk.
I stopped and you just see the color drain from my face. I'm just like, please don't tell anybody.
Roll for con.
Keeping it steady, just in the mids, 15.
Oh, I'm dead.
He's glaring at you right now.
Perfect. That awkward silence, just what we need.
I can feel you judging me.
You're free to go. Security guard
Okay,
will escort you out of the crew area.
Can I possibly have my stuff back, please?
Your data disk?
Yeah. Just discreetly. I don't want to make a big commotion out of this.
We're going to have to hang on to it.
For research.
If you want sides, I can give you sides, man.
Yeah, we're going to have to hang on to it for the moment.
All right, just when can I get it back? It took me a while to find some of that stuff, and it's probably I think some of it's gotten deleted already, so it's important to me.
We'll be in touch.
Thanks, and like I said, just keep that on the down low, please. I don't want judgmental stares from people on the on this ship.
Okay, and then so yeah, security guard comes in and escorts you back, and then he goes to Joey. You keep very interesting company, Mr. Brennaby.
What do you mean?
If you find your sister, will you let us know where she is? She's an enemy of the Empire.
I mean, if anything, I could try to make her leave this rebel alliance, whatever this is, and then should be all fine.
She is a wanted criminal.
All right.
Will you report her to us if you locate her? I will say this, she is probably a lot safer in Imperial custody than with the specific group of rebels she tends to travel with.
I mean, how comes? I'm sure she always had a good... What's the word I'm looking for right now? God, I'm thinking of a word. I can't think of the word.
Like judge of character?
Yes, thank you. She usually had a good judgment of character, so I'm sure it's not as bad as you make it come over.
One of the people she travels with has a reputation for spending more time in back to tanks than out. Another one has a habit for being unable to keep a ship for very long.
Oh.
There's... They're quite a dangerous crew to both themselves and to others.
I really hope mine doesn't come. And one has a vast collection of wiki porn for some reason.
Oh, you're in the database now, bud.
Yeah, I am.
So, will you report her if you find her?
I'll do what I can. That's it. I'm happy to help if it makes her safer.
Okay. Security guard will escort you out of the crew area back, and you can return to your room.
Oh, great.
Okay. So yeah, that happens. And so you've all been returned to your rooms. At this point, we're probably partway through, like, the third day of the trip. Yeah. Is there anything else? And yeah, after this, you do see that, like, usually when you're out of your rooms, there are security guards, like, keeping an eye on all three of you.
Just shaking their head at me.
But, you know...
Try not to make eye contact.
Yeah, it's like...
He has actually a rope. He's just like...
So, yeah, they're mostly, like, keeping their distance, but, you know, just keeping a casual eye on all three of you. Are you mostly just, for the remainder of the trip, just going about your normal... Just going with normal stuff?
Yeah, just kind of...
sleep,
Ezekiel, he
eat.
just kind of keeping to himself.
Same.
Okay. Yeah.
Try not to draw any more suspicion.
Otherwise, the trip goes without any more excitement, and eventually lands on the planet Agu 3.
Egg time.
And yeah,
So I got my data back.
you haven't yet. The ship's landed and people are starting to go off. Are you what are you doing? Are you leaving the ship, or are you trying to find Lieutenant Balthazar, or...
I'm trying to find Lieutenant Balthazar.
Okay. What are Ezekiel and Joey doing? Are they with him, or are they just leaving the ship?
Ezekiel's gonna depart. He wants the hell off that ship.
Okay.
Same.
Okay.
We're just assuming he's gonna be fine.
So
He'll be fine.
We'll wait for him.
Okay.
Something.
Can we just assume there's been a conversation had between the three of them about what happened?
okay. Do we want to have the conversation?
Sure.
Okay.
So maybe we'll go back to like the evening.
Of the third day
after that we all got out.
Evening?
Sorry, that just kind of occurred to me.
Night of the third day, which now it just makes you think of Majora's Mask.
So maybe we just meet up in the mess.
Okay.
So, I now have a collection of Wookiee porn.
Yeah, and you're free. So, you know, I figured that was a better alternative.
Hopefully, the people that I was supposed to give that to will understand the situation. But, yeah. I need to get that back, too, because I still don't have it.
Well, I mean, it would take some pretty heavy-duty recovery to pull it back, but it's the information back, but it's possible. I basically had to wipe out what was on there so that it wouldn't risk incriminating anyone because I had no idea what was on it.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's some smart people where I am, so hopefully they're smart enough to solve or to fix up that little thing.
I mean, there's a lot of Wookiee porn to sift through.
I hope you did the tasteful stuff. Like I know what the tasteful and non-tasteful Wookiee porn is.
I just kind of glance at Brendan. The tasteful stuff.
I don't know, man. I'm not an expert at this thing.
It kind of sounds like you are.
I just get flustered. I'm like, just change the subject.
Did he say he was going to give the disc back to you?
He said he would, but I never got a timetable on when I get it back. And I need to get it back.
Well, you're kind of on your own there. As soon as we land, I just want to get the hell off this ship.
That's fine. I mean, I could do it by myself. It's fine.
Okay. Is that all you're having for the conversation here?
I can't think of anything else to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we return to... We're at Ezekiel and Joey getting off the ship, and Brendan... So what is Brendan doing exactly? Just walking back to the... What?
Yeah, I'm just walking back to where they took us.
Okay, you come across a door that says crew only beyond this point.
I hit a buzzer or try and open it.
Try to open it, and it asks for a code.
I knock.
And you remember, like, past this door is a corridor, so, like, there's probably not anyone, like, just on the other side of it.
I go to an intercom.
Okay. Are you contacting, like, security?
I guess so.
Okay. Yes?
Yeah, y'all confiscated one of my data disks, and I'm trying to get it back.
Who is this?
This is Brendan Tarris.
One second.
What?
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Oh.
Can I speak to the captain, please? I was told I would get it back.
1 second, please. Okay, then you hear the captain come on, and it's like, hello, Mr. Tarris?
Hey, I was told I was going to get that data disk back. I really need it back. It has important stuff on it.
I don't know the specifics of it, but Lieutenant Balthazar has already left the ship. I assume he took it with him. That's the extent of what I know.
Are you sure he took it?
I know he left. He didn't give it to me.
Could he have left it somewhere, possibly? Like, do y'all have a holding place for confiscated items?
We do. It's not there. He never, like, dropped anything off there. And after my security people, when my security people gave it to him, he never gave it back to any of them.
Maybe he left it in his quarters?
I can have someone go check. It'll be a few minutes.
All right.
Okay. So after a few minutes, he comes back on the comm. Checked his quarters, and nothing was left behind.
Awesome. Well, if you see it, I'd ask if you could let me know, but I guess there's nothing else I can do here then. Y'all be hearing from my lawyers.
Like, he's an Imperial officer. We were just doing what we were legally obligated to do and following his orders.
All right, I get that. And then I really don't see anything else. I just leave.
Okay. So yeah, you get off the ship into the spaceport. Are Ezekiel and Joey waiting for Brendan in the spaceport or outside the spaceport, or?
Well, I think
like at the exit or something.
Yeah, like in the spaceport, but like, yeah.
Okay. So, Brendan, I guess, just goes and meets up with them. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You go
See a dejected Brendan with his head down, just kicking their ground a little bit while he walks.
As he walks up, I just kind of go to him like, "Did you get your porn back?"
I just glare at him and said, "No, I did not get the data disk back." That's all. They're gonna kill me.
Well, I mean, if I hadn't, then they probably would have. So
I guess. Thanks. I guess. I'm just.
Imperials don't mess around.
Yeah, I get that. So do I know where to go now? Like for the meetup?
Yeah, like there's an area outside town where there's like a just like in the woods there's an area where there's like a hidden transmitter inside a tree. You go there, hit it, send a signal, and then if you get a signal back, then you know that a rebel ship will come pick you up in 2 days.
Well, I look over at Joey and I said, "Well, if you want to possibly find your sister, just follow me."
Well, sure.
Why not?
Okay. So you guys leave the spaceport, and as you do, all of a sudden, black unmarked speeder, comes up and stops right in front of you. A window opens up, and there is Lieutenant Balthazar, and he's like, "Mr. Tarris, your data disk."
I grab it and say, "Oh, thank you. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed it."
The window closes and the speeder drives off.
Yeah, he did his research, you know.
Yeah. He had to take to his private chambers on his own personal ship.
Okay. Then, so then you're just, I'm guessing, going outside of town to...
Yeah, I am drained and just ready to get this mission over with now.
Okay.
Sorry, no, can carry on.
Are Joey and Ezekiel going with you?
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
I was.
Okay. Yes, so you go. I assume you're trying to be sneaky when you actually go there.
Single file.
Yeah.
So if everybody wants to roll me a hide sneak.
Wow, this is
6.
sorry in advance.
Very nice. 8.
Whew,
Good
guys,
stuff.
y'all need
Good
to,
stuff.
It's a fresh character.
Yeah, jeez.
Just wait to see who rolls
then.
lower.
I just turned your top secret information into Wookiee porn. Come on, give me a break.
Okay, for some reason my my keyboard's like crapping out. Give me a few seconds.
Okay. I'm like, that's what was taking so long.
I mean,
15, okay.
Keeping it right in the middle. That's just how I roll.
Okay. So yeah, you do that, and then you send out the signal. You get the return signal, so you know that the ship will be here to pick you up in 2 days. I'm assuming you're just laying low for those 2 days.
Yeah. Could I possibly send any message out to the general just to give her the sitch? Or is it not private enough?
No, this is basically just like this signal that you get back. It's basically like, or the signal. It's basically you push a button to send this, or you type in a code to send the signal, and then like there's a light that flashes for the return signal.
All right.
Yeah.
So do we just hang out in the woods then?
I mean, I would assume you would like go get rent a room at a motel or whatever, but
yeah, okay.
You can stay in the woods. You can stay in the woods if you want.
Camping.
The main thing is
We're
just
best friends now.
making sure you're in the area, in 2 days when the ship lands.
I want to I want another crack at that data disk though.
Okay.
So once we get back to the room, then I'm gonna turn to Brendan and said, just out of the blue, say, let me see that disk for a sec.
All right. What do you need it for?
Just I just kind of do one of these. Sorry, I know I'm desynced. Hold on.
Just gonna be like, I'm gonna try to reverse
There we
the
go.
process.
Are you by chance gonna get rid of the Wookiee porn? Maybe.
Just give it here.
I reluctantly give it to him, but I'm like keeping an eye on him the entire time.
Okay. So what
So I put the disk into my little computer.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to. Well, first of all, I just get rid of the Wookiee porn, and then I'm gonna try to run a recovery program to recover the data that I deleted.
Okay. Roll me a computer program repair. $15. You're unable to recover any data.
I'm
gonna hand the disc over to R2. Say, hey buddy, you want to take a shot at it?
$67.
Beep boop bop. Beep bop boop bop. Beep bop boop bop. So basically what he said, and what both Ezekiel and Brendan understand, and Joey doesn't, is that this disc, all it had on it was the Wookiee porn. This is not the disc that had other data deleted from it. And in fact, this disc also has a virus on it.
So R2 is now infected with the virus.
What?
R2 is now infected with the virus.
R2 is fine, but Ezekiel's computer is infected. Is probably infected.
Lovely.
I just whisper, son of a bitch.
Well, at least we know.
Yeah. Still gonna kill me.
So if there's a virus, then my computer's probably shot.
I mean, it might still work. You don't, because R2 doesn't know yet what the virus does. But
yeah, I meant more shot, like unusable. Because it, like, as in not worth the risk of using.
Yeah. From a
Does it
technical
have a- does it
standpoint,
have-
it's still usable. It's just you don't know what the virus is doing.
All right. So in the meantime, to be safe, I'm going to take it apart and remove all power sources and transmitters in it.
Okay. And then, are you doing anything else, or just waiting for the 2 days to pass?
So I mean, the data disk is pretty much worthless, right?
Well,
Like it doesn't have any of the information that I needed, right?
No.
Can I just destroy the disk out of anger? Like go all Office Space on it and just.
Make me a strength roll.
Oh, goody. I crack my knuckles and just end up breaking my hand.
Let me please be a thing.
8.
A solid 8.
You managed to bend. You try just like breaking it, and you bend it a little bit.
so as he's doing that, I'm like, whoa.
Harry just watched me.
First of all, you're gonna hurt yourself, and second of all, they might want what's on there. They maybe can analyze the virus.
I look over. It's like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you all with that. I just got a little angry. It's
okay.
a good thing you stopped me. I probably would have ended up breaking it. I definitely weakened it a lot. See?
Roll
You
me a
know what?
con.
Can I already just go ahead and say that it failed?
If you don't want to roll a con, you don't have to.
You know what? It's fine. We'll order some eggs, and we'll all feel a lot better after we have some eggs.
I just take a deep. I'm like, that does sound nice.
Okay. So are you? So you are how are you ordering eggs?
Is it a motel or a hotel?
I think it's just a
type place?
motel you're staying at.
All right. Space Uber Eats.
Okay. You're looking at like local restaurants and such, and you're seeing literally nowhere that has eggs on the menu.
Oh. Wow.
Terribly named planet.
I do 3, but it has no X.
I just shake my head disappointedly.
I was promised X.
Oh gosh. All right. I don't think we're doing much else of consequence for the next 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So then after 2 days, you go to the landing area, and a transport ship comes and lands. I guess Brandon's never. I mean, what's the character's name again? Since I'm too lazy to just check the character sheet behind my character sheet, I just look at my file here. Sandra Linares. You've probably seen her around like the Rebel base or whatever, but you don't actually. I don't think you've really met her.
Yeah.
Yeah. She comes out of the ship or whatever, and she's like, Brendan Tarris, right?
Yes.
And
that's me.
who are your friends?
Well, crap. I'm so bad at remembering names. One is
Meantime, I just do my family wave.
I was gonna say well, that one there is Joey. Apparently he's sister to and then I look at him waving. I'm like, well, you could probably guess.
Zoe's brother.
She has a brother.
I'm new to this too, and then that's I know your last name's Corona. Ezekiel. I was getting there, and that's Ezekiel Corona. They both helped me get here.
Do you trust them to come back to the base with us?
We're just trying to find Zoe. She's been missing forever, and we just want to talk to her and see that she's okay.
And for better or worse, Ezekiel did get me out of a bind, so he does seem to be trustworthy enough.
Okay, you can come aboard then.
There were some binds on there too.
Are you talking about the porn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Porn? She just looks at you. What are you talking about?
Not about Wookiee porn, that's for sure. It's fine.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come aboard. We'll head back to base. Yeah. Okay. So you go aboard. Takes off, and ship enters hyperspace. And this is where we're going to end the session.
What a successful session.
That was good.
Not gonna lie, probably easily in my top 3.
I don't think you were expecting me to put Wookiee porn on the disc, were you?
Nope. I honestly wasn't sure if you were going to just like turn on him or not. Because we have had at least one player turn other players over to people.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
You know why? It's because I had no idea what was on it, and I didn't want to risk it.
Yeah.
If I had known what was on it, then maybe I would have played ball. But Ezekiel also hates Imperials because they killed his parents, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Also, wait, that happened before? When?
In a very early session, before you joined, because it was back when it was Mira, which is Vignetta, and Sny, which is Jake, and then Piece of Hannah. She was only in 2 sessions. She was playing what's her character's name? Malin, I think. Mal for short. And at the one point,
I remember hearing her name though.
yeah, where she had she was the one, because you were brought in after Mira was being held by what's his name, Ikar, right? It was
So?
Mal, Hannah's character, who had turned Mira over to Ikar, and then later on had left Sny, just like, where it's like, okay, yeah, she's like, okay, I feel bad about like turning her over, let's go save her, and then it's like, okay, we'll go aboard my ship and take off, and as soon as she went aboard her ship, she closed the door and just took off, leaving Sny behind. Which was mainly because she was going to be taking part in a session, but then had to like cancel last minute. So it was like, I'm like, or not even last minute. It was like she gave me warning, but like it was like, okay, so I need to have a reason for her to just like, I'm like, how do you feel about just like your character leaving Sny behind? And she's like, I'm good with this. Yeah. The two of them also like, because it's actually through Hannah that I know Jake, because like he's a regular in her stream or whatever and such. But yeah, so that happened very early on. I keep hoping to get Hannah back because it's fun to have when characters don't exactly get along. That makes for some fun stuff, but she's had a very busy schedule and such, so it hasn't worked out and such. But yeah. Yeah, I find that actually as a general rule, people that regularly stream themselves, with one major exception here, aren't as easy to find time to take part in this.
I mean, you know me, I literally adjust myself to others at that point.
Yeah. But yeah.
No, like that one game that goes to 6 a.m. for me.
Yeah, I don't know, like, I don't know when you sleep, or even if you sleep.
I sleep when I need to sleep. If I need to be awake for something, I'll be awake.
Do you have, like, a day job or a regular job?
No.
Okay, that explains a lot.
Let's just say I'm fortunate in some ways.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is where we're gonna end off. Are the 3 of you able to return for next week?
I should be.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
What time are we doing next week?
Next week, oh yeah, it's at same time as today, 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Luckily, I'm getting two Saturdays in a row that I'm not working. It's actually both this week and next week I have the exact same schedule. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all 3 of them being 3 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Which is a very early shift. But well, hopefully next week I'll be a bit more adjusted to it. Like this last week, I got, so the 3 nights before each of those, I got 2 hours of sleep at most the first night, and then about 3 hours of sleep the other 2 nights. Which, yeah, not great. Then it was not last night, but the night before. So like, wait, yeah, it would have been Thursday night. So after, because the third day of me working those shifts, or a Thursday night, I fell asleep while catching up on Twitter. So like I woke up, so as I was still fully dressed, my light was on, my heater was still running, which like I always shut that off because otherwise it ends up being it's too cold during the day, but I can't have it running while I'm sleeping or it gets too hot. But then as soon as I wake up, I turn it back on so it's warm enough for me to get out from under my blanket. But my heater was on or whatever all night or whatever, and I woke up in the morning or whatever, my phone next to me, and like I don't even remember that I was like still scrolling through Twitter. I like open it up and it's still is on Twitter, and I'm like, oh, I fell asleep literally while like catching up on Twitter. And how my phone was like just nicely next to my head instead of like, like falling like to my other side, which would be more likely, or where it was next to me, falling just onto the floor. I don't know, but yeah. But yeah, so next week is that, yeah. Do any of you have anything you want to shout out or anything?
Well, I want to shout out to all the points I'm about to spend.
all the points you're going to spend for Jacen.
Nope. Then I would get a few weeks of no points.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna go on break now, and then I'm gonna go get something to eat, use the washroom, all that necessary bodily function stuff, and then I'll be back in a bit with some Animal Crossing. But yeah, so if you're enjoying the stream, don't go anywhere. Well, I mean, you can get up yourself, go eat, use the washroom, do whatever you need to.
Move at all.
I mean, if you don't want to watch me play Animal Crossing, you don't have to. Like, this isn't like I don't have ninjas like in each of your houses forcing you to watch me, as far as you know. Except
Jacen was really murderous.
Except for Cherry's house, there's a ninja there, but
that's true. I have to go and pick up a buddy of mine.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna head out. So, or I'm gonna go on break. They're gonna head out, and I'll be back in a bit with Animal Crossing. And enjoy going to bed, Captain.
Thanks, Eric.
Yeah.